Hey, what's going on? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today, we are taking a look at some unique and one-of-a-kind gadgets. We're going to start off on the EDC side of things, and let me know down in the comments what you're carrying in your pockets today. Feel free to let me know the entire loadout. We're going to be starting off with one of the coolest and most unique flashlights that I have ever checked out in my entire life. This is coming in from Loop Gear. It's called the SK05 Pro. I will have links to all the items you see in today's video down in the description. Any coupons and codes will be down there as well. Now, the SK05 Pro and Loop Gear are really new to me. I've gotten to check this out and handle this for the last couple of days, testing it out, and man, is this thing full of features. So as far as pricing, we're going to be looking at about $105 on the Loop Gear website and about $120 on Amazon at the time of recording this video. Now, we do have a nice aluminum body here. We do have a pocket clip that you can choose to put on or take off. We have a magnetic tail cap that also opens up, and we do have a lockout switch so that button cannot be pushed. A nice tactile pull down that'll allow you to open this and pop that open to our external rechargeable batteries here, 4,000 milliamp hour 18650s. That is going to give us 8,000 milliamp hours of power with this light. Now you can see that is our battery indicator there. We can also put the rotating bezel into a lockout mode. You have first, second, and third modes here, and then your power button is going to be in the middle. You have a nice tactile click when you go to each mode, and the sidebar will let you know that you have turned this on. We have a floodlight and we have a spotlight in this thing, and we're looking at 4,360 lumen output together, and we also have a 405 meter beam distance with this thing. Now, if we go into our first mode here and push it on, one click to turn it on, hold it down, that'll cycle you through all your normal modes. And then a double tap will get you into the turbo side. Now we can go to the next one and hold it down. That's going to go through all your normal modes there. And then we can double tap and go into our turbo mode. Now, if we shut this off, we can hold this power button down, and that's going to give us over 4,000 lumens of beam there, and that is really intense at nighttime, let me tell you what. Now we can go to the third mode here, which is going to be this sidebar, which has a ton of capability. If we turn it on, it's going to remember the last mode that you were in, and I was on the very last option there for our modes. Now if we turn this back on, we can hold this down, and that's going to cycle you through all the different colors of this flashlight. Now, if we triple tap, that's going to get you into this blinking kind of police light. We can hold it down. That's going to go into a blinking red and white light, almost like an emergency light or a signaling light. If we hold it down again, that's going to go into a blinking red light. So you have a lot of features in this flashlight. Now, if we triple tap, we can get into our normal low, medium, high yellow bar. Now, if we go into number 4, we can get into our normal white light here. So this thing is absolutely insane. Now, if we go into number 5, that is going to cycle you through the blue light there. So this thing has no shortage of features. Now, the thing that puts the cherry on top for me, 2 things. This thing has the ability to run off one 18650 here, which is absolutely insane. So you don't need both 18650s for this thing to run, and it doesn't matter which side you have them in. So that is really, really cool. 18650s are nowadays pretty much everywhere. The other thing that is absolutely awesome about this is not only do you have your external rechargeable 18650s here, but you can charge them up through the USB-C port. But that is not all. This also has the ability to 20-watt fast charge another device. So you can run your USB-C cord to another device, and you have 20-watt fast charging with 8,000 milliamp hours when this thing is charged up. Absolutely insane. We'll be doing more on this flashlight in the future, but I wanted to get this on your radar. I will be testing this out thoroughly over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be coming back for a full detailed diagnosis of the SK05 Pro. Next up, we have a new knife coming in from Daily Carry Co., or at least a new knife to the channel. This is called the Daily Carry Co. Mini Tie Slide here. These are going to come in about $150, and you get one of the best unboxing experiences with Daily Carry Co. You get this really nice metal tin. You get a drawstring microfiber pouch. You get a full set of extra hardware. You get a sticker and an RE in the pouch. And then you get a Torx tool or Torx key. And you get a full-size microfiber cloth. And these are really, really good. I have a bunch of Daily Carry Co. products. And they have some of the best unboxing experience and best products in the EDC game. Now, we are looking at a full titanium handle, hardware, and pocket clip here, and that is going to be reversible for lefties, so you can carry this light right or left-handed. We have a Tanto M390 satin finish blade here, and it is a robust blade. So this little knife I would consider too small for a normal daily carry, right, as a primary. But there's plenty of people who, you know, would get by with something like this or some size like this. But where I do think this fits in awesome is kind of that backup to your backup, and or some sort of pouch or backpack knife, kind of an emergency knife. It's like, oh, I don't have my knife with me, but I do know I have a knife in, you know, this spot here. And this is the type of blade that is going to be very useful because of how small it is, but it's lightweight, but it has some heft because of the titanium. And then you're going to be getting a premium super steel in the M390 here. You'll be able to poke and pierce, slash very well because the edge runs right into the handle here. That is going to be an awesome place to trap material when you're cutting. It works very, very well. Might not be the best thing in the world for sharpening, but in regards of cutting and slicing, it works very well. Next up, we're taking a look at the newest and the latest Anker 20,000 milliamp hour power bank here. They just call it the Anker Power Bank 20K. And I have to say, guys, that I can't recommend this at this point in time because the last 20,000 milliamp hour battery, there's a reason there's a new design out for this Anker power bank here. It's because the previous design got recalled, every single unit. So, and that's not the only recall that's happened in the last year or two. They've actually had numerous recalls on various products. So at this point in time, I'm not recommending Anker. Do they make solid products, and do they make products that have a long-lasting life? They do in a lot of instances, but they also have products that could fail you or burn your house down. So it's something where I need to see them getting on track. Now, you know, to that extreme, they have had issues where their batteries are combusting and catching on fire. So that's a huge issue, right? And not only their power banks, but their speakers as well. I have bought in a lot of Anker stuff, and at this point in the last 2 years, I've had 3 different items recalled. Now, does Anker stand by their product and replace it if there is a recall? Yeah, they do. But are you willing to risk that and go through that? So that's just something to consider. They do make a solid product when it's not on a recall. So we have their IQ power here through the USB-C in and out. We have their IQ power through their USB-C A out. And then we also have a built-in USB-C recharging cord that has a decent length on it. So this is a nice unit to throw in a bag, and if all your items are USB-C rechargeable, your phone, your flashlight, so on and so forth, all you need is this, and you got 20,000 milliamp hours. That would be enough to charge this big ass flashlight 2.5 times. So that is a lot of power in your hand. Now, with that being said, I do think there's better options out there than this Anker 20K, and they're a little bit more expensive, but they're smaller, lighter weight, give you just as much power, and have never been on a recall. And that is the Nitecore 20,000 milliamp hour, which I will roll in some footage of. Phenomenal power banks from Nitecore. That is where I would take a look if you want the best, right? If you're okay with risking it and so on. And I'm not saying I won't, but I just can't recommend their products to my viewers. I just can't. Not at this point in time. Not anything. Maybe the 10,000 milliamp hour power banks. I haven't had a recall with them, and I have like 6 of them. I've bought like 6 over the last 3 or 4 years. Spent a lot of money with Anker. So it's just at this point in time, you know, until I see some changes, I won't be recommending their products. Will I show some? You know, if I buy one, yeah, I will, but I will definitely tell you about all the issues that they have had over the last 2 years as well. Now, I've been testing out the brother to this cord for about the last 6 months. And yes, I did just cut towards myself. Oh my goodness. Jeepers. Anyway, I've been testing out the mate to this here for the last 6 months at least. And we charge a lot of items here, guys. I have 2 phones that constantly need charging. Ashley has a phone that needs charging. My kids both have tablets. All the flashlights that we use throughout the house on a weekly basis, we are constantly using charging cords and power banks along with flashlights. So we get to do a lot of testing when it comes to this stuff. And I can tell you that like 80% of the USB-C cords that I have bought or received are complete garbage. There's only been about 3, maybe 4, if the one continues to hold up good, 4 USB-C cords out of like 15 that I could even possibly recommend. And Magtame, their USB-C cords are the real deal, and they aren't insanely expensive. So really good charging capability. But what really matters most to me, yeah, the quick charge really matters. But what really matters is the cord going to hold up? I don't care how fast this thing is if it's going to break in a few minutes, right? Or a few days or a few weeks or a few months for that matter. But I have chargers that will break within a week. You know, like the head of the USB-C or starts tearing here. I mean, it's just like they're garbage. Now, there are good cords out there, and some of them are very expensive, right? But you can get a solid cord from Magtame, and I believe I do have a discount code for them as well, but I'll link them in a couple different places because I know that they're out there in several different places. But they're a place where I can recommend their cords to you. I have quite a bit of experience with Magtame's products, and wow, that bad boy was in there pretty good. And the other thing that's really cool about these cords is they are magnetic. So they will stay wrapped up for you. I mean, it perfectly, no, but they will stay wrapped up for you nicely. And what I often do is this old number right here. And sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I'll roll it up and put it in a pouch. But I might just hang it here like this, and then it stays together nicely. It's not going to go anywhere, and depending on what you hang it over, it's going to stay magnetized to that as well. So they do have other options as far as colors. I have a blue one, they have black, and there's other colors as well. And they also come in different lengths, so 3, 6, I think 10. Lots of options when it comes to Magtame's cords. Next up, we have a new multi-tool coming in from Byberry, and the previous Byberry multi-tool that I checked out, I was really impressed with. This is the Byberry Keychain Rescue multi-tool, or there's your number, BI 2062B, and these are very affordable. Now, what's really cool about these is these aren't a plier-based multi-tool, it is a scissor-based multi-tool. So that is really nice in my opinion. There's not enough of these in my opinion as far as having a scissor-based multi-tool. There's some options, but not a lot. And the one thing that's nice about this is Byberry's a reputable company at this point, and this is very affordable, and they also have a bunch of cool options. We're going to be taking a closer look at this in more detail in a separate video here in the future, but it has just a nice little tool set. You have a pry bar, flathead, slotted combo here. You have a can opener or bottle opener there. You have a Tanto blade. I forget what stainless it's in, but it's in a basic stainless. Nothing exciting, but it actually has a stainless steel. I forget what it is. I think it's like 5CR. You have a diamond file here and a nice box opener there. That'll save your blade, right? And then here on the side, you have an actual 3D Phillips head screwdriver there. So the tool set on this is not insane. And then you have a keychain lanyard here. It's not insane or extravagant by any means, but you got scissors, you got an extra blade, you have a bottle opener, you have a 3D Phillips head that'll fit most average Phillips, right? The P3s, this won't do well in, but 1 and 2, you should be just fine with that. The little file is a nice touch, you know, if you need to maybe hone an edge on a small blade or something. And then that little box cutter there that has a nice grind to it, a robust grind for breaking into packages. And then your little can opener there, flathead, pry bar. It's just a nice little combo in my opinion. So Byberry, definitely worth checking out. So far they have my interest, I will say. I've checked out a couple of their multi-tools and been pretty impressed so far. I do wish this had a pocket clip, but I think this would be suited, since it doesn't, really well in some sort of pouch, sling bag, or backpack. I think this would make a great little tool to have with you, the Byberry Keychain Rescue. Next up, we have a new knife coming in from Nedfoss, who has been increasing their prestige here on the channel. They have gotten better and better over the last 3 years, and it really shows with their latest releases in 2025. Now, the ELF here, it's going to come in quite a few different variations. You get D2 and steel and G10 for like 35 bucks. You can also get 14C28N and a aluminum over steel with G10 handle for under 50 bucks. And then they also have a Damascus version that is like a VG10 base, and those are about 67 bucks. We have a cutout here for deployment, along with a rear flipper that is jimped all the way down and around, and then the cutout can be accessed on both sides as well. The 14C that Nedfoss does, they do a good job with it. I have never had a complaint when it comes to their 14C. They have had some like corks and whatnot where, you know, I would want like 1 or 2 small things changed. But for the most part, they've really been kicking ass here. All they have is their little logo on the front show side of the blade there, and the rest of it's clean. I do wish they would stop with the Nedfoss on the clip and just go with the emblem if you want. Go with the emblem and, you know, go with the steel marking. And I think that's good to go, because this is a really nice clip here. It's a really nice clip. I think just going with the logo, you know, either up or down all the way, and just leave it at that. And I think that would look really good. Great pocket clip. They've used this on several of their knives. It's got really good retention, but it's got a good spring in it too, so it's like the perfect combo. It's also recessed along with the screws, and it is going to be reversible for lefties out there. For a mid-sized knife with a 3.3-inch blade, this is really cool, especially under 50 bucks. Now, some people might find more value in the $36 version with D2, and I wouldn't blame you for going that route either. Next up, we're taking a look at the coolest set of lighters to ever hit the market, in my opinion. Couture has teamed up with different companies, and Steampunk is one of them, and put out some of the most insane lighters that I have ever seen. And if you're a collector of things, you're into EDC, you're into gear, lighters could eventually come into the fold. And if I could recommend anything to anyone, it would be a Couture lighter. I have their website down in the description. I always recommend going over and checking out what they have, because they have some of the coolest products that I have ever seen. Both of these are through Couture and Reich. This is my personal Zippo from Couture that I use, and Ashley has already requested that she gets this one here, and I think she made a really good choice. This is their new cracked Zippo. Take standard Zippo fluid. You just pull this out and fill it up like a standard Zippo, but it's got a nice tray that it sits in. Now, it won't have or conserve the Zippo fluid like this one will, because this one is actually housed and closed off. So it's a little bit different, this one is, where this one is very similar to a standard Zippo. It just has that unique body. Now, they make solid brass lighters, and they are heavier in some cases. Now, the crack pattern, as I call it, or on their website, they call it the burst pattern, the Couture burst. These are going to come in about $150. So they are pretty pricey, but consider what you are getting here with these lighters. You're going to be getting basically a custom finished lighter here. I mean, this pattern and milling would have to take a long time to do. A really long time, and it's really beautiful, along with this lighter here. This one is going to be quite a bit lighter than that one. They are both going to be solid brass, but the way that this one is done, it's just a little bit heavier. Now, for the people who have been around for quite a while, the lighters all come with wicks and everything you would need to keep the lighter up and running for an extended period, with the exception of the lighter fluid, of course. But here's another one that they have, and another one of their newer lighters, but you can just see all the different options that they have, and they range from like 75 bucks up to like 180 bucks, right? So they have some very affordable ones, they have some in the middle, and then they have some that are a little bit more expensive, like this one here. These are about 180 bucks, but for good reason. This is insane. I don't have any fluid in it right now, but what you see is what you get with it, plus the entire kit. It is kind of like a pistol pattern. You have this trigger here. Now, this is my longest standing Couture lighter here, and it is a push button, and it really holds the fluid very well. All these parts move. They're all hand installed. Really impressive stuff from Couture and Reich. And this is a little bit newer to me, but something I've been using for about the last 2 weeks. They're calling that the Snake Woman, and these are going to come in under 70 bucks right now, which this one would probably be the one to get that you could realistically carry in most scenarios and would still make an awesome desk lighter. That's where some of these will stand with me, is kind of at home only, where this one, I'm not afraid to take it with me. It has a little heft to it, but not too bad at all. And as I said earlier, I will most likely be losing that one to Ashley. To let me know what was your favorite piece of gear from today's video. I always look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That helps get this video out there to all the gear fanatics. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knives, EDC, and gear, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every single day. I'd love to have you here. I'll pop up a couple of videos on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.